Hi everyone, my name is Lydia. Today it's gonna be a little bit ranty because or just like really spacey, I guess, or just ramblings perhaps, because my thoughts are a little all over the place and I'm just sort of in an all over the place kind of a mood. I am neurodivergent, and I do wonder if other people who are also neurodivergent do the same thing, because I have been posting on here and trying to be pretty consistent with it, and in doing so, I completely forgot about TikTok, which is kind of crazy, because I've been posting on TikTok for a couple of years now, and I've been pretty consistent with TikTok, and I hop on here and I just forget that TikTok exists, and I do that sometimes with different things. It's like my brain just doesn't want to focus on multiple things at once. And I'm like, that I think that's our neurodivergent trait, for some people anyway. Because I've been noticing a lot more lately that I'm like that, where it's like if my brain is focused on one thing, or if I have one thing at the forefront of my mind, it's like everything else goes out the window, and it's like, oh, I hate that. I really dislike that trait, but I'm working with it. I had to remind myself that I do have a TikTok account, and to be consistent posting over there as well. Yeah. And just thinking about how I had to tell myself to post on TikTok and on YouTube at the same time, I'm like, oh man, did I just replace something else in my brain with TikTok now? Was I reminding myself that I had to do TikTok and therefore some other thing that I usually do every day, or that I usually remember to do, is just gone? I hope not. But it'd be like that sometimes, they really do. But anyway, it's just been my little life, I guess. But I've also been reminded of my obsession with dragons recently, and it was I don't know if you guys will understand what I mean by this, so hopefully I explain it well. But I've been in a dragon era for the past few years, which is kind of strange for me, but at the same time it's I forgot that I was in my dragon era while still being in my dragon era. I don't know if that makes sense, but I've been interested in them, but I forgot that I was until recently, and I'm like, oh yeah, I've been into dragons, and it's just been a weird thing about me for the past few years. And it's very unusual because growing up, I knew kids that liked dragons. I feel we all knew a kid that was obsessed with dragons, and it just, for me, my lens and my view of them was just sort of okay, you really gotta be that guy, right? You really gotta be that kid. I just really couldn't relate to that when I was growing up. I really couldn't. And I don't know why, but I just was kind of annoyed by the whole dragon aesthetic. I was okay, sure, because why? Because they are epic and fly, and if you would ask them what their favorite animal was and they said dragon, I was just kind of pick a real animal. Really, you gotta go mythological? Okay. It just kind of annoyed me growing up. But it is kind of funny because I remembered how when I started becoming interested in dragons, it was around the same time that I was starting to tap into my inner child, and it's oh, as a kid, I think I was just so focused on being logical and not seen as being too childish. And so I just like kind of pushed away anything that was like fantasy and fun. You know what I mean? Like, I think I just really suppressed this like enjoyment of dragons as a kid. And now I like them, now that I'm tapping into my inner child, and I feel like, I'm so sorry, all of you dragon people of the world, that I was like completely eye rolling you guys growing up, because I didn't get it. I didn't get it. But now I get it. And now I like dragons. I don't know. They are so cool. And it's just funny being like an adult and being in a dragon era. It just feels like a little funny, but I'm embracing it and I'm here for it. When I was playing Webkinz, like when I was first getting into tapping into my inner child, I was playing all of like the nostalgic games for me growing up, and one of them was Webkinz, and I honestly would still play Webkinz if my computer could handle it. And also, like, I hate that they do this like little membership thing where it's like okay, you have to keep buying animals, you have to keep buying Webkinz in order to keep like all of the features going. Like, I just think like I thought it was criminal when I was a kid, and I think as an adult it's even more criminal. Like, you are actively asking me to like buy a stuffed animal, buy a toy, buy something online, give you money when I've already given you money. Like, when is it ever going to be enough, Webkinz? When is it ever going to be enough? I just want to play that little beaver word game, and you're limiting me. You're telling me that I can't, and I just think that's rude. I don't remember what that's called, that game, but I like it. It's cute. I've got decaf today because I've just been drinking a lot of coffee lately, and I just think it's like, I need to tone it down just a little bit. Where was I going with that? Oh, the Webkinz. I loved playing Webkinz. I really did, and I probably will play it again when I have internet, because I only have internet on my phone right now. I don't have it on my laptop. Like, I don't have like internet through my home. You know what I mean? So maybe I will again. I probably will, because it's so fun. It really is. But like, while I was playing Webkinz, like getting back into it and tapping into my inner child and allowing myself to like have fun and find comfort in the things that brought me comfort as a kid, I got super into dragons at the same time. And then I became obsessed with the dragon Webkinz. And it broke my heart, because I was like gonna get super into it, and then stuff happened where I didn't have internet at my home, and then I was homeless. so I never fulfilled that. Oh, that's my dog. Just a sec. But I became, during that time, this is my dog Sophie, by the way. Hi, Soph. But during that time I became obsessed with the dragon Webkinz. Obsessed. And I don't know where I was going. I really don't remember where I was going with that, but I guess just to say that was my favorite Webkinz. As an adult, as a kid, again, I was not into dragons. I was like, meh, dragons are kind of dumb, and I feel bad for saying that, because they aren't. They're actually very cool. And I was watching a video about dragon totems, and I'm like, wow, that actually matches who I've always been. It's kind of crazy in a lot of ways and aspects. So I might have just been repressing a totem this whole time. I don't know. It's kind of interesting to think about, I guess. That very well could be that I was just repressing a totem because I didn't feel like I was allowed to tap into this like childlike wisdom and wonder. But yeah, my favorite Webkinz as an adult. I'm not gonna gatekeep it, okay? I've been gatekeeping it for so long because I was afraid that the market online of this plushie was just gonna like dry up and dry out, and so I will just reveal it. I'm in my non-gatekeeping era, and that's why I talked about nosy bears, even though I've been gatekeeping nosy bears for a minute. But my favorite Webkinz is the Whimsy Dragon. It's so magical. It's got an iridescent stomach, and it's whimsy. I love it. But I like all the dragons. All the Webkinz dragons. Oh, I also forgot to mention that this is kind of what reminds me that I've been in a dragon era, is that I was playing Animal Crossing, and in my last video I talked about like the Animal Crossing villagers that I have, and the one that I wanted to kick off versus the one that I was hunting for and all this stuff, and I didn't kick off the one that I was thinking that I was going to kick off, but she is next on the list, even though I love her, but she's next. I ended up getting rid of Tia, which did break my heart, but it was kind of the right time. And I just had so many Nook Miles tickets that I was like, I mean, I was just itching to go on a villager hunt. You know what I mean? You ever feel that way? Where you've like saved up enough Nook Miles tickets for a long time and you haven't gone villager hunting in a very long time, and you're just like, I'm just itching to get out there, to bring somebody new on the island. So, and Tia asked, and I already knew she wasn't a forever villager, even though I loved her. She also didn't really fully match my island. The teapot aspect did, the elephant aspect did not. But, so I went villager hunting, said goodbye to Tia, and I found Drago. I think that's his name. Not Drago, like, it reminds me of Draco Malfoy, and I'm like, that's not his name. But I found Drago, he's like this, Eastern style dragon, and he's like bright, like a lime green. He's very cute. He's actually like the base of an alligator villager, but he's so good. And I've seen him before, and several times before, like I've been like, no, I'm hunting for somebody specific. And so I kept like passing him almost every villager hunt. I felt really bad because like he was like in my top list for a very long time. And this time it was really hard to pass him up. But then I told myself, if I come across him one more time, I'm taking him, and I'm gonna take it as a sign. And I came across him one more time, and I was like, I guess this is it. He's meant to be on my island. And it's just been great. It's been great, and it's reminded me that I'm in my dragon era. And it's definitely reminded me that like I want more whimsy in my life. I want more, I don't know, more sparkle, more not like glam sparkle, but just sparkle in general, glitter in general. You know, a little more fantasy. I already enjoy like fantasy and like Renaissance and all of that sort, but sometimes it helps to put that on your forefront of your mind, because sometimes Whimsy might pass right by you. At least for me. Might pass right by me, because I'm not like really thinking about it. I just let it float on by. And I guess this is just reminding me that I want more whimsy in my life, and to just look out for it. So yeah, and I've been decorating my island now a lot more fantasy than it was before. I did have fantasy elements, but I'm just having a lot more fun with the fantasy element of it. I don't know. Adding a lot more like castle decor. Didn't have that before. Not really. I had ruins on my island, different areas with different ruins. Because I like this like historical element, this like forgotten history type of element to my island. But now I'm like, let's just go full blown castle. Why not? And I will say he is a lazy Drago, not Drago. He's a lazy villager, which is awesome in itself, because I love lazy villagers. I mean, who doesn't? But I also have 2 other lazies on my island that I love. Like, I do not want to get rid of them. So, you know, there is that. I have Stitches and Eric. How can I get rid of either one of them? Especially since my, like, most of my island is actually, like, a northern forest type of vibe. And so that's where Eric comes in. I mean, he's a moose. He's a reindeer. That's what he is. And with that, I mean, the only 2 Webkinz that I've bought as an adult are these 2. Reindeer and moose. Hello. Oh. Sorry. So it's like, clearly the signs are here. I love reindeer, are one of my favorite animals ever. And they eat lichen, which is like even cuter. And I love moose. So there is that. I can't get rid of him. And Stitches, you know, I don't know why, but like when I got Stitches, I was like, oh, I'm probably like, yeah, I'll keep him for a little while. He's cute. But like day 1, I was like, wait, he's like really cute. And it's like patchworky, which I love. And yeah, he's just like this patchworky kind of a bear, which is total like storybook kind of element. I like his little stitched eyes. I mean, come on, he's so adorable. Cuteness overload. And I love like patchwork aesthetics. One of my prized possessions in real life is a crazy quilt from 1925. I believe it's 25. It might be 27. I have to look at the date again. It is, she is beauty. She is grace. She was an accidental purchase. I will say that much. But I cherish her, and I'm so glad that that happened. Yeah. And I can't wait to be there and celebrate her birthday, her 100th birthday. I love crazy quilts. They are just the coolest thing to me. I would love to collect crazy quilts. I do realize that's an expensive hobby. So it might take me, it might be like a lifelong collection that I start, you know, journey trying to find pieces. So and with that too, I would love to make crazy quilts. So I don't know, it's just like when I got Stitches, I was like, he's this like stitched together quilted sort of bear. I don't know. Anyway, That's my little thought on that. Oh, speaking of nosy bears, my nosy bear just fell. Nosy bears. It's another thing I would like to collect for real, and I will collect. Just, I never find these out in the wild. I will one day. I'm holding out that hope. I am putting that out into the world. I am saying I will find nosy bears in the wild. And that will be that. And I will create a collection. But they are kind of hard to find in the wild. Or they have been for me anyway. I usually find them online, and the prices online are kind of like all over the place. Sometimes you can find them for like very inexpensive, but then sometimes it's like, oh my gosh, hundreds of dollars? What's going on? So, I don't know, the market's weird. What else was I going to talk about? Oh, yeah, I forgot about TikTok quite a bit. So I've been posting on there, and then and then because I'm in my dragon era, sorry, I'm a little sleepy today, can you tell? Because I'm in my dragon era, I just suddenly was like, I'm obsessed with dragons, and I think I don't know, I think I just want to draw some dragons. Ugh. And so, I hate when that happens. So yesterday I just spent a part of my day just drawing dragons. And it's like, I guess that's a great thing, you know, in a way. Like, I feel like in a weird way, like, happy with myself because I haven't drawn anything in years, literally years. But it was also like it's just funny how my brain works that way, where it's like, oh, I'm into this right now, this is what I'm gonna spend my day on, and like, I'm gonna forget about other things. Like, I probably should have filmed yesterday, and I didn't. Even though I love YouTube, it's not like a hassle or a chore for me to film. I like filming. I just was like, yeah, I'm into drawing right now, and I'm into dragons right now. Everything else doesn't exist. And, you know, it's not bad. I don't know. I haven't drawn in years. I don't know if I should even show them, because I copied a lot of these from Pinterest, so it's not like they're like my creation. And they're not that good. like I debate. I used to draw a lot, like a lot. Because it was always like, you know, as a teenager, it was always like, yeah, of course you can find a pencil in your house and a sketchbook, especially since me and my other sibling both were into drawing and art. And so we always had like a sketchbook in the house, because especially like if you have a sibling that enjoys the same thing, it's like, I don't know, it's like you usually have copious amounts of that thing in the house, or at least a good amount of it. And so yeah, we would have like paper and pencils, and it was like, okay, like, why not sketch and draw? And I used to have like sketchbooks and stuff and fill them up, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I drew quite frequently, but it's weird because I haven't drawn anything since being out of toxic mold. I think this is the first time I've drawn something at all since being out of toxic mold. And since being homeless, of course, too. And it's like, wow. So, I didn't know what to expect with my drawing skills, and just even with my attention span and all of that. Yeah, so it was kind of interesting. And I will say this, I drew more yesterday than I ever would when I used to draw all the time. And I think it's because, I mean, as a person, I've changed, I've grown, and I've evolved since then to such a crazy degree even, that my approach to drawing is different. Like, I don't know, my approach to drawing is different. I used to, well, when I drew yesterday, I had this want to just draw, and I was like, I don't know, this seems like it'd be fun. And I tried gathering like stuff together to draw, and I tried to find a pencil, and I couldn't find a pencil. I used to have a pencil case. I don't know where that is right now. But that's kind of the crazy thing about being an adult, is that like when you're a kid, you always have a pencil in the house. Oh, it seems like, at least for me when I grew up, it was like, yeah, of course you always have a pencil in the house, because like a couple months you're going to be going back to school. Like, you always have pencils around. And as an adult, I find it rare to find a pencil. Like pens, sure. Pencils? It's also one of those things that, like, as an adult, I'm not going out to buy pencils, but I should. I should, because I love pencils. I'm a pencil girly. Even in school, I didn't like the mechanical. I was all analog. I don't know, I liked normal number 2 pencils, you know? And I just couldn't find one, and so it was kind of driving me a little nuts, because I was like, wait, that's how I draw. Like, how I draw is with pencil. I don't even know how people just do it with pen without like driving themselves nuts, you know? Because like, you get to see all the scratch marks, or not the scratch marks, all the pen marks like underneath your final product. Like, how does that even work? But I couldn't find one. And so I kind of just went with it. I was like, okay, I've got pens. Let's just do it anyway. Let's let go of like how I used to do things, and let's just draw with a pen and see how this goes. And I think that helped me get out of like doing things the way I used to, and it definitely showed me that I have progressed as a person, because the way I used to draw was so, like, I took it so seriously, and like I would just make sure that I did every line as perfectly to my own standard that I possibly could. Like, every line I did, it's like, if that wasn't exactly where my brain intended it to go, then erase. You know what I mean? Like, it was a lot of that growing up. And it just took up so much energy for me to draw that I would only draw like maybe 1 or 2 things and then be done for the day. And maybe I'd feel better tomorrow, maybe in a week I would like feel refreshed enough to go back to drawing, who knows. But it's so crazy, because I drew so much yesterday, like so much more than I ever did growing up. And I think it's because I let go of that, like, it has to be perfect, it has to look a certain way. And I think even having a different utensil and having to look at my artwork differently helped me with that, like helped me not regress back into who I was then, or how I would have done things then. So it was really interesting drawing yesterday. Like, I drew more, and I let it just be a lot more, and I was also able to do more, which is awesome. So I'm not like the proudest of these, they're just sketches. So don't like, may your expectations be on the ground, just real low, because I just, they're just okay. I don't even know if I want to show them a little bit, because like a part of me is like, yeah, maybe I should. It would be kind of interesting to see, to look back on it in like a year or something and see where my head was at. But then I'm like, I don't know, because they're not that good at all. I don't even know which one I did first. What did I do first? Oh, okay, I'll show you some. I mean, why not? So I did some of these. Again, these are from Pinterest. Like, I took a little creative liberties, but overall, not a ton. Like, I tried to diverge a little bit, but this is also the thing. It's like, I usually use my laptop, or back in the day, I used to use my laptop to draw, like, to look at inspiration. And so I would have a bunch of different tabs open, and I would take elements from different photos and kind of combine them together and try to like create my own piece in a way. But on my phone, I don't know how to do like multiple tabs on Pinterest. You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I probably could have done this a different way, but oh well. But I didn't do that. I just had one photo up at the time, and so I tried to copy that, and then I tried to make it like, try to do something a little different here, but I really wasn't sure how. So so you might see some of these on Pinterest if you go looking for dragon stuff. So this one, I don't know, this one's okay too. It's supposed to be like a lady holding him. I drew that after as like a last minute thing, but yeah, there's that. I just was obsessed with dragons, and so I was like, I want to draw some dragons, and that's just how this happened. And the thing is like, I'm interested in both like the westernized and easternized dragons. Like I don't know what these things are on dragons. Like, I don't really understand what they are. I think they are supposed to be like catfish, or you know how like some fishes have that? I think it's supposed to be that, because the Eastern dragons are more like water, like they bring water and good luck, and they can bring rain, I think. So I think it's supposed to be something like that, but I kind of like the looks of that on dragons. And that's kind of what this guy was supposed to be too. Like this like Eastern style dragon. Anyway. This one I just drew on like a little notepad. What else do I got here? I think this might be the last of my dragon stuff that I drew after this one. So for this one, I followed a tutorial on YouTube, and I it's like when I look at it, I'm like, ooh, but then like, I have to remind myself that like, I was really trying to follow this guy's tutorial without stopping. So, or without pausing the video, so just keep that in mind. It's oh, sorry, is somebody showing it? Yeah, okay, I'm showing it. It's just it's okay. Like, it looks like, I don't know, I can't criticize too much, because I mean, I shouldn't criticize myself. It's hard not to, but I'm not going to. It's also like one of those things where like, when you spend time looking at your own art for a minute, it is like, you notice every single detail about it that you hate. You know, like I remember every little like mistake that I did, and it just but But I also, like, when I see other artists criticize themselves, I'm like, don't put yourself down. But then I do it. And it's like, why do I do that? You know. But I just love days like that where I am able to create so much. Like, it feels so freeing. Anyway, I also drew things that were not dragons. Especially towards the end, I was like, wait, this picture's kind of cool. Maybe I could try this. And so I tried some things. And I had like taken a break and scrolled on TikTok a little bit, and I saw this video of this guy like talking about how because he like paints things using different colors. He like it'll be a photo of somebody and he will paint it, but like adding in different colors for the shading, so it's like kind of has like this cool like rainbowy style about it. I love that style of art. And just hearing him talk about it, I was like, maybe I can kind of try to do that with the pens that I have. I don't know, and the markers, but, so I drew this duck, this little mallard. Ducks are also one of my favorite animals. I love them. I just love them so much. And then I drew this wolf. Or coyote, like looking back at you. So I tried that. It was kind of an interesting process. And then today, I drew this axolotl. I'm not that proud of it, but I don't know. Anywho, those are my sketches. It was a fun day. It was a fun time doing that yesterday, especially since like it was like working this muscle that I hadn't worked in years. It was really kind of cool. And I just love creative days like that where I'm fully like I'm spending quality time on a new art skill or developing an art skill. It's just there's really no other feeling like that. Yeah. What else was I going to say about that? I'm really not quite sure. But that was a fun time drawing and just sort of allowing myself to have that moment, you know? It's like, in a way, I mean, in a big way, that was helping me also tap into my inner child even further, because I know that as a kid, that's totally something I would have done. Like, oh, I really like this animal recently. Okay, let's just spend time drawing it today. Let's just doodle some. Like, why not? And spending time doing that and allowing myself that time, I don't know, I'm really happy that that happened, even though in some ways it made me forget about the other things that I should have been doing, but you know, balance. So that's just what I've been up to lately, or at least that's what I was up to yesterday. And yeah, I think that's about all my thoughts today. Yeah. Anyway, have a good day, you guys. Bye-bye.